I have not publicly called for killing the Ayatollah. What I've called for is doing whatever is necessary to stop him from getting nuclear weapons. In the first Trump term, what that meant was maximum pressure. So in the first Trump term, I spent a lot of time urging the president to withdraw from the disastrous Iranian nuclear deal that Obama had. President Trump agreed with me. He did that.
That Iranian nuclear deal, Chewie, that was leaving it so we knew that Iran still didn't have nukes. That disastrous deal that if he didn't pull out of, they wouldn't now today be able to say, we think they're making a nuke, because inspectors would have gone into the places and seen it. That disastrous Iranian nuclear deal that he pulled out of. That Iranian nuclear deal that he pulled out of, which is now possibly putting the world on the precipice of World War III because Trump pulled out of it. So Ted Cruz is taking responsibility for that. Good on you, buddy. Good on you.
And then I urged him to end the oil waivers and to sanction the hell out of the country. And it ended up crippling their economy. So Iran at the time was selling 2 million barrels of oil a day. 1 million barrels, I'm sorry, 1 million barrels of oil a day. When President Trump ended the oil waivers, it cut their sales to 300,000 barrels a day. At the end of the Trump term, the Iranian economy was in shambles. They had massive inflation. I think the regime was teetering. I think it might have fallen. I would use economic sanctions and I would use moral suasion to try to effectuate
if you
regime
topple,
change.
okay.
What a wanky word that is. Have you ever heard moral suasion before? Like, I mean, he's probably been talking to Christopher Luxon to get that kind of thing. Moral suasion. So persuasion in a moral sense. This is Ted Cruz saying that. Moral suasion. Like, I just want to put something in his mouth when that word comes out.
I just want to say the idea that the US can persuade through morals, I assume that that's what he's saying, the Iranian people to overthrow their regime. America has no standing in Iran. America and its Western allies to put the Shah in charge, who went on a multi-decade orgy of disappearing people and tortures, and that's what caused the revolution. Then they armed Saddam Hussein and pointed him in Iran, and caused the Iran-Iraq War, which was just a meat grinder of trench warfare. They have backed Iran's biggest antagonist, Israel. And like, I'm no fan of their regime. Obviously the Iranian people aren't a fan of their regime as well. But America trying to help them along the way is less help than they think it is.
Yeah.
Why would they listen to them?
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. All right, we'll keep going with this because we haven't got to the gold yet. It's about to come.
Sanctions, and I would use moral suasion to try to effectuate
If you
regime
topple,
change.
okay, so you topple the regime by whatever means, what happens then? How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's...
And I'll just say it again, it's relevant because you need to know what the pushback might be by how many people. That's why it's relevant. You big bloody Wolverine try-hard,
So remember when America went into Iraq and kicked over that beehive and then spent fucking near 20 years in there, sacrificing their own soldiers and murdering Iraqis in wholesale scores. There's more people in Iran. And Iran is a mountainous country. Like, the idea that America would invade Iran or somehow topple it and it'll be okay is insane. It has always been insane.
I heard half the population. Iraq has half the population. I just Googled it. It's 45.07 million. That's Iraq. And Iran is 4 times the size. Yep. Now, I heard that. I'll check the stats on that second one. So, yeah. And what I find fascinating is, like, this is an American politician just going, like the interviewer, and like, was going to say love him or hate him. Hate him or hate him, Tucker Carlson is asking good journalistic questions. Ask a factual question, and when they don't answer it, ask it again. Media could learn something from this series of questions. No matter how much you hate Tucker Carlson, in this 1 minute, the journalistic gods went on him and gave him something. But he's just sitting there going, yes, I would like to see it toppled. What? What? Yes, you're for toppling it. What?
So
how can you just say that so blatantly?
Yeah, I was reading a lot of the stories that are circulating around about what Trump might do and what's being said, and you know, one of the things that Netanyahu has said is that Iran is literally weeks away from having a bomb. He has been saying Iran has been weeks away from having a bomb.
We've got that
since the early 90s.
Yeah, we've got that. We've got the footage.
This just feels like the false justifications that America was coming up with and scrabbling around to find them at this point that sent them into Iraq.
Yeah, we've got that clip. We're going to play that after this. And just so you know, I just had a look as well. Iraq, 460,000 square kilometers. Iraq, 1.648 million. So yeah, it's 4 times the size. It's
and mountainous. It's not mountainous. Flat like Iraq is.
Yeah. All right.
It's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who claims anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to.
Oh, and my dad's bigger than yours. Yeah. Oh, you don't know.
You're the one who claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. Hey, really believe that.
So, and this is the other thing. This is actually a monumental screw up by Cruz. He releases information that the US government had denied the night before. It's just chefs. He's gotten flustered and now he wants to win the argument no matter what. It's just beautiful.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
we're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay, we are not bombing them.
Oh, okay.
Israel is bombing them. And hey, why do you do the snide? Oh, okay.
What do you mean? Because this is super high stakes stuff. This is a huge country that borders a lot of other important countries. A lot of the world's energy comes from there.
So let me ask you,
don't want another disaster. You don't want to be reckless.
There you go. You don't want to be reckless. Like that is for many. That would be career ending, that kind of interview. That'd be the thing that would haunt someone. I think, unfortunately, Ted Cruz and his ilk are already haunted puppets and husks of them former selves. So they've already gone so far through the bottom of the barrel, it probably won't matter. But it's pretty massive. Now, Chewie, I've got another clip to play on exactly what you've talked about because I wanted to bring this whole kind of Israeli thing. But first of all, you want to respond to that at all? Or else I can...
First of all, Tucker Carlson's a horrible, horrible person.
100%.
But this is devastating that he was able to do this to Ted Cruz. It's laughable, the positions. Go and have a look at the whole interview. Tucker dog walks him around that room for about half hour, 40 minutes.
Shall I read out some of the headings?
He never had the upper hand at all.
So they've gone through, and on YouTube you can do this. We don't do this because I've got enough jobs. You can set up chapters, and I'll read some of the chapters. Why does Cruz want regime change in Iran? Is the US currently acting on its own best interest? Was regime change in Syria beneficial to the US? Was the Iraq war a mistake? Why aren't US politicians focused on fixing American problems? How much money is the US sending to Israel? Does Cruz think it's okay that foreign governments spy on America? How much money has Cruz taken from AIPAC? Those headings goes to that, and that was about 40% of the way through the headings for the chapters that they talked about. So dog walk would be a dog walk. Chewie would be a nice result compared to what he actually did to him.
Wow.
Cruz refuses to apologize for supporting the disastrous Ukraine-Russia war. Why does Cruz think Zelensky is a hero? They do still go into those conspiracy theories. But this is the thing. It's like the Godzilla. Let them fight. And this fracture that you're seeing on the right, I think it's really important to say this because for a long time, I've been saying, since I was doing talk radio, which is 15, 17 years ago, it's always been the right have been on message. The right have been on point. The right will speak with one voice and the left is fractured. What you're seeing in America at the moment, maybe for the first time ever, probably not for the first time ever, but what you're seeing on the right now is fracture. There is the pro-Trump no matter what, and there is we supported Trump, but we're pretty annoyed about this Iran stuff. And there is the first time I remember there being. I was before. I can't remember what his name was, but I think it was a guy in the 90s who ran as a third party. He was a libertarian, and he caused the Republicans to lose. But since then, there hasn't really been mixed messaging from the right, and you see it here in New Zealand as well. So yeah, it's fascinating, really fascinating.